Welcome back to another video, and in today's video, I will be showcasing you guys Niklaus Mikaelson in the Vampire Legacies 2. Now, let's get into it. Niklaus Mikaelson, better known as Klaus Mikaelson, currently has 700 health, 700 energy, and of course 350 thirst. He is currently priced at 600 Robux, which is only 100 more than his original siblings. This is Klaus's vampire face. Although due to his hybrid nature, his eyes are black with a yellow glow, unlike a vampire counterpart, which normally has red, darkened eyes no matter what kind of eye color they have. Pretty cool, and this game did a great job at capturing the glowing werewolf eyes. Due to Klaus being an original, he does have a faster sprint. It's hard to tell, but you can tell. And a higher jump than base vampires, because base vampires can barely make it up to the roofs over here, and he can jump over the entire building. But this is all, of course, of his original vampiric nature. Klaus has the basic, combat. Now, he does not do more damage, I believe, but it would be cool if he did, due to the originals being the strongest vampires alive, so they should have, a bonus. We're going to start off with Klaus's hybrid side, being his werewolf side, and he only has 2 abilities off the start, which I put into one wheel. Firstly, you have his Venom Bite, which it will bite into them, do your cool little eye reveal with blood, and it will infect them with venom, only being curable by his blood, Hope's blood, or being siphoned away by a siphoner. As you see, I will heal Stefan, and his health goes up, and he will also be cured, saying Klaus Mikaelson healed you of wolf venom. Klaus only has one other werewolf move available in his human state, which is wolf transformation. As you can see, he will transform into a wolf, saying the attack is calling you, and he'll be able to use the rest of his werewolf abilities, and of course his transformation. Also, this getting out of it, it's pretty cool and faster. So the first werewolf move that Klaus has is Wolf Pounce. Pounce is on the victim, doing damage and infecting the target. Next is Wolf Ravage, which is to attack the shoulder of the vampire, infecting them with venom and doing a decent little amount of damage. Next is the Casual Wolf Bite that you can do in human form. Basically, it's a quick little chomp on your victim, just infecting them with venom. Next is Howl, which it's basically a modus, but for a werewolf, with less distance and a less kind of knockback. Now, the final offensive ability is Wolf Sprint Burst, which basically, it knocks everyone in front of you, basically ragdolling them for around 5 seconds. All for 1 damage, and this is really just an annoying move to annoy everybody in your game. So the final and most overpowered werewolf move is the Wolf Scent. You simply click on a player on the list here. You can scroll if there were more people. I got a small server, luckily. So you click the person, and there's this really cool trail in front of you, green and red. I do not know if it changes with species, because I know it was blue ones for me. It looks so cool. And you will lead it directly to the person you're tracking from when you saw the track. And of course, just look at this really cool, neon, I guess you could say, animations. Personally, looks the best and is probably the most useful in the game. Klaus has the average Superpunch. Klaus can also choke his victim, as you can see. Leaving these cool little cracks in the ground, which you can barely see due to the amount of grass of where I am standing. Klaus can, of course, feed on only people without a vampire side, basically mortals, witches, siphoners, and werewolves. And this will not inflict venom. Of course, he can't feed on a vampire, but it will not inflict venom on a transforming vampire, per se. So Klaus has Compulsion, but due to him being an original, he can basically compel all vampires, and on top of that, mortals, and of course witches. Of course not, Gamepass witches, because that would be really overpowered. And so here are the compulsions. First, you have Walk Away. Pretty basic, they'll walk away for a set amount of time, and unable to do anything. Next, we have Sleep, where basically the victim will say you begin to lose your memories, and you get very sleepy. And so they will fall over, getting really sleepy, and this only lasts for around, as you see, he is getting up per se. It lasts for like 10 seconds. Now we have the don't feed button, which basically it will not let you drink blood. But there's no humans around to test it. But what you can do is drink blood bags to get around this. Because as you see, he can do it. And also, you have to basically say allow feed to make it so he can feed again. Which is pretty cool. You can siphon it. It can only be decompelled. Which is a pretty cool feature. And very tedious if you go running around to all the vampires telling them not to feed. So remember, blood bags is the only way around this. Next, we have the follow me, which will make the intended target run to your last marked location. As you see, you'll basically follow a trail. And this will go on to like 4 saved positions. As you see. And then, as you see right now, Kai has regained freedom to walk. Pretty cool. Really, this could be to annoy or drag someone away from a party so you can slaughter them. If the target has a stake, you can also do take stake. And as you see, I now have 3 wooden stakes when I only had 2. So the final compulsion is make me invisible. But if the witch, heretic, or werewitch do not have enough magic, which is 20, it will not show up. So if Kai comes and siphons me for 30 magic, as you see, make me invisible. Now this is the paid heretic spell. All paid heretics have that spell to make others invisible, and because it's the proper spell, that's why they do the spell. Now this can only be done by basically 3 characters or MoonStones, if they indeed get compelled to do it. They do not have base access to the spell. And as you see, the invisibility is, very quick, but it's quick enough to where you can go around and murder someone. And as you see, when invisible, you can literally do anything. Anyone moves and you're still invisible, which is really cool. And because if Hope goes invis and goes to another move, it will uninvisible her. Which is a bit sucky in this game because you can't be invisible at the same time of doing a move. But in the show, oh, I think it glitched. In the show, you had to focus to be invisible, which is a really cool, realistic show feature. Next is Eye Gouge, which basically, Klaus shoves them onto their knees and forces his hands into their eyes, making their vision blurry. And I'll show you basically what it does. As you see, the vision goes blurry for a while, which could be a perk especially during nighttime when you barely can see anything if it's not super crystal clear. And this will go away in about a couple, 10 seconds, as you can see. Of course, Klaus has basic neck snap, which Gamepass switches have protections, and anyone who is not a vampire will die. Anyone who is a vampire will just get up, as you see here. Niklaus, of course, can throat rip, which this fits him the most, because he was known for being a savage when it came to, feeding per se. As you see, it does a lot of damage. It looks pretty cool and has a decent cooldown. Of course, Klaus has Spine Break, which is a MoonStone exclusive as well as Gamepass, because as you see, it paralyzes the victim, and I guess it's for higher tier vampires, which is especially why one of the first vampires would have it. And as you see, he was still on the floor. Next, I have Blood Heal, which can do many things for Niklaus. It can, of course, make people vampires. It can heal his own werewolf bites and all normal werewolf bites, not Marcel's, as Marcel's blood can only heal his bites and only his, and of course Klaus can only heal basic werewolf bites. But, of course, him and Hope are the only people in the TVDU universe who can make hybrids. And as you see, we have Mason here, which if I feed him my blood and snap his neck, he will be turning into a hybrid. And, as you see, he actually bit Lizzie earlier, and Lizzie's almost dead. And so after feeding, Mason is now a hybrid, making him the best of both worlds, getting vampire immortality, and being able to murder vampires with vampire immortality. Klaus, being a strong original, can heart rip his victim, as you see, insta-killing everything, sending them to 0 health, And unless they are an original or an immortal, they will die. And of course, Gamepass switches have a protection to this. And as you see, Kai is dead. Now we have Niklaus' final move, which is his last and second insta-kill ability, HeadRip. Now the target must be under 40 HP, as you can see. So I left him purposely on 1 punch. Now he is under that health, and we shall HeadRip him. So now since the cooldown is over, and Kai is under 40 health, being at 32, we can HeadRip him. As you see is one animation from the front, and it's pretty cool. The head comes off, they bleed from the head, and as of right now there is no resurrection, so they are dead permanently. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. I love you all. Goodbye.